got some things to do now. Scooby-Doo, where are you? We need some help from you now.
And action!
Scooby-Doo today is probably more popular, certainly as popular as he's ever been in his career. And so the challenge for us is really great, and the bar is really high.
With any famous cartoon, there's always going to be an appetite to see those characters, that world that those characters exist in, translated to live action.
The idea of bringing a cartoon character to life is tough and has been a challenge since day one.
It's been an incredibly physical role, and it's been an incredibly physical role in incredibly high boots.
I'm gonna die! Doing something which is scary, but it's Scooby-Doo. You know, I love Scooby-Doo. How could I not be Velma?
Right here! Roby-Dooby-Doo!
I look at it as an opportunity to make something great even better. And I've been budget and the sets and a director and a cast, and it's unreal.
I play Daphne, who is part of the Scooby Gang. She's sort of the stereotypical pretty girl. In the beginning, she's the one that no one takes seriously.
You'll activate the conveyor belt, spilling the vat of oil.
I'm Fred Jones, if you didn't guess already. He's the self-proclaimed leader of Mystery Inc., so he thinks.
When the Luna goes, I play Velma Dinkley. She has very bad eyesight, and she loves to solve mysteries.
I know I'm just the dude that carries the... I play Norval Rogers, a.k.a. Shaggy. Shaggy does not like anything that might kill him, eat him, or maim him for life. Shaggy's a big chicken. Both him and Scooby have that in common. Not big fans of the ghosts. Every time you turn around...
I play Scooby-Doo. I don't like monsters, but I love Shaggy.
Well, we open up in right in the smack in the middle of a classic Scooby-Doo set piece where they're in the midst of trapping a ghost. And Shaggy, and Scooby, and they do exactly what you hope and expect them to be, and it plays much like an episode.
We tried to do that so that we would put you right in the world of Scooby-Doo, if you're a Scooby-Doo fan, that you're kind of comfortable with. And then we try to turn the convention on its ear.
They're presented with a certain mystery that they've never really been presented with before. And the stakes are a bit bigger, and so they all kind of have to step up and be the people that they were kind of born to be.
And action! It's very thrilling. Yeah, I'm incredibly lucky to be involved in this project. Very excited about it. Scary, yeah. There's times on any movie when you're scared, believe me. Scary, scary, scary. Look all over the room. Oh my gosh! And exit sausages. This is a fun way to live.
Raja has an amazing energy. I think he really knows how to deal with people well. I think that the set is such a positive place.
You really relate to the good guys in Raja Gosnell movies, and you know, because we have these characters and because we're trying to show that they're human and so therefore they have flaws as well as really good qualities and heroic qualities, it's really important that you have a director who can bring the best out of these characters and make you really relate to them and care about them. Raja's really good at that.
Print that. And cut. Thank you. Scooby-Doo.
I think everybody in their own way is a Scooby-Doo fan. I may not have seen every episode as a child, but it's something I think that everybody related to. It was one of the first cartoons that sort of crossed all the lines.
It is brilliant American literature, and I don't care what anybody, it is. It should be taught in schools. These characters are cowards. They're scared. You don't want them on your team ever because you would definitely be killed and lose. However, for some reason, we pull for them the whole time.
Well, Scooby-Doo, Silverman, who was the head of at CBS at the time, said he wanted a horror show or a scary show if possible. 4 teenagers, 2 boys, 2 girls. And at the end of the picture came this big, lovable mutt.
And the biggest dog I could think of was a Big Dane, or a Great Dane, rather. And I just picked about 3 or 4 things that seemed especially important. He went the opposite way And that developed, it was easy enough to develop a comedic drawing of a dog.
And the minute the dog got on the show, it became a hit. If you can explain that, I'd be very happy to hear what you think about that.
It was very important to me that Scooby looked and acted like a real dog because he has to inhabit this real world. In terms of creating his look, it was challenging to have something you'd look at and immediately know there's Scooby-Doo, while keeping that still a real dog, because Scooby has very distinct characteristics.
Ray! That's Ray!
We have to bring Scooby to life. It's not like it's a matter of just putting a dog on the screen with fur and eyes and ears. It's the way they move, and it's the way he looks at other actors. That's the hard thing, and that is a mammoth challenge that, frankly, we're all scared to death about. Scooby's going to have any number of expressions, just like a human actor does. And in order to do that, you have to build him from the ground up correctly. You have to build the muscle structure in his face, in his eyes, in his ears, so you can animate the intent of the shot and put Scooby in that mood and in turn communicate that with the audience.
I think that it's the one place where we have a lot of license with Scooby-Doo. We can take him much further than a real dog, and we can take him into a comedic range that's inimicably him. But that is one of the biggest challenges, is to make sure that he animates both looking believable, but also being as out there as Scooby-Doo is.
Okay.
I think the hardest thing about doing Scooby-Doo or something like Scooby-Doo is the expectations you know people will have on it because they love it so much.
Daphne, are you okay? It's always a challenge when you play someone, specifically someone as iconic as that, someone that every single person, not just in America, but in worldwide, who have an idea of who this person is and how she's supposed to be. And it's tricky because you're walking a fine line, because the Daphne of the past is a two-dimensional cartoon character, and now you're taking her into a three-dimensional feature film. So you have to keep the traits and keep the attributes that everyone looks forward to and that they like in her, yet at the same time make her more well-rounded and make her more of a person.
Okay, man? Welcome to Spooky Island, the frightfully popular spring break spot for college students.
Well, this is Spooky Island. This is my island.
Here we go.
I play the role of Mondavarius, and Mondavarius is the owner of Spooky Island.
Mystery Inc. Oh, it's marvelous to see you out my top. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's the second time this week. Oh.
The essence of Mondavarius is that he's actually a very, very nice man, but very, very keen to please. But then suddenly he can quite easily be a little bit distant.
I'm a suspect.
Don't take it personally. It's mostly just because you creep me out.
Oh, I see.
Ah. He's a comic genius, which is pretty much unarguable. And to have him in the film is just, I think he's hysterical.
Ah, fine. Okay.
Thank you, Rowan.
And the challenges clearly are interacting, reacting, speaking with something that physically isn't there.
That would be delightful.
It's difficult. Acting with Scooby is more difficult than I thought it would be. It's a lot of imagination, but it's also getting all the actors' imaginations in tune. We all have to see the same thing. We'll always say, where do you see Scooby right now? And what face do you think he's making?
Ow, hey!
Acting to fresh air is tricky, there's no doubt. I mean, it's always nice, any performance is a dialogue of some kind. It's either you and another actor, or it's you and an audience, or it's you and the camera.
And action. It's a bit challenging for the actors, but they've stepped up really well.
It certainly is. And that's because, why?
It's just me in an empty chair.
What's it, they're not working any light source. Here we go.
At least that's what I see.
Scooby snack.
I think it's all right if you were doing a scene like this in front of a camera and there's one fixed point that you can look off camera to focus on. But when you're moving around a chair and going up and down as well, it means the parallax sort of situation is extremely difficult because when you're looking down the chair, you're looking halfway up the chair, and as you come down, you have to look above the chair, and when you come around, you have to look sort of off. Do you see what I mean? What you're looking at changes with your position, obviously, and I personally find that very difficult, I have to say.
And cut. Beautiful.
Cut it.
Very nice.
You know, where do you look next? There.
Cool, that's from my mom. It's a little tricky, and it's taken some getting used to. And then you really kind of like have to trick yourself and start to kind of see. Unfortunately, they have this like head on a stick that I'm sure at some point you've seen, and they do like these camera things so they can see where he is. So now I really try to focus on where they were with that, and because you don't want your look. Like if I'm looking at you, it's right here, but if I'm looking past you, like my look's different. And if there's nothing there, it looks like you're looking at something really, really, really far away, and you don't want that to happen, so you kind of have to trick your brain to see this little head dancing around. And hopefully I'm doing it well.
Roll camera.
When actors get together, they have a certain chemistry. We had to create a chemistry with the other actors in Scooby, so they knew what he was about.
Scoob! Like, what are you doing, man? So for rehearsals, a lot of times there's several factions of Scooby-Doo.
No one is stupid enough to believe that.
Who's the ugly old broad?
And action.
Say hello to Grandma.
And cut. Very nice.
T-A-H, take 13. Hey, Scoob, that was fun. Let's grab another skateboard and, like, do it again, huh? Yeah, man. So this is Neil. He's the on-set voice of Scooby-Doo.
Thank you, Scooby-Doo. You're my hero.
Can you talk a little about how you make the voice? And how that came about?
I'm a big Scooby fan.
Note the shirt.
And so I guess it's a lot of watching it as a kid. I love the cartoon characters, and it's just a matter of lots of practice, as you know.
I find like there's key words that will get me into character.
Definitely.
So every day I wake up, I put my costume on and kind of go through the zoinks. Man, oh man, Scoob. Dude, like, what are you doing? And that little was the hardest thing to figure out.
I love you, Raggy. Rooby-dooby-doo.
Zoinks. Man, are you good, dude?
Raggy, Mary Jane is a rat in a mask.
Mary Jane is a man in a mask. Dude, you, like, sound a little jealous. On our chase, Scooby's seen something to tip him off about what Mary Jane may actually or actually may not be.
And actually, they sort of come to fisticuffs.
No, Scooby-Doo, your mom eats cat poop.
It was a very, very difficult scene for Matthew because these two characters are circling one another and looking at each other, but there's actually no Scooby there, so Matthew had to play opposite, air.
That was for sure the most challenging moment of the film.
Bring it. You want some? You want
And probably one of the hardest scenes I've ever done. So Scooby's up and then down and up and then down and up and then down. So there's a lot of little marks all over the set that you try to make eye contact with. It's difficult. It's not easy. It's definitely one of the challenges in this film.
We were able to create the interaction with an actor who has a great imagination. You can see it when Matthew works on the set, especially in that fight scene. Our challenge is to make Scooby basically react around Matthew's acting as well. So we got to get him up on two legs. He has to fight like a boxer and still remain being a dog. So that's about as challenging as it gets.
To me, that's the reason to make Scooby-Doo the movie is not just to do exactly what they did in the cartoon, but to do something beyond that and explore the characters and let them have their character moments and sort of see who the real people are.
You sort of get a behind-the-scenes glimpse of what the characters might be like and sort of all the things that are alluded to as you get older, and as a young adult, you realize that it might have been hinted at in Scooby-Doo.
Let's split up and look for more clues. Daphne, you and I.
Typical.
What?
Oh, nothing.
Fred's a difficult role to play. It is. In our version of Scooby-Doo, Fred is the butt of several jokes.
To cause a dog to discontinue any action, you simply flick it on the nose. Observe. Scoob. Hmm? See? Everyone will feel they've been treated with respect and that the film's been done. But I think there's some stuff that they're not going to be ready for and a bit shocked, and we'll get some good laughs out of it.
Yeah, it's going to be a shock for most fans that Shaggy actually gets the girl. I court her by winning her stuffed, dismembered head on the crane machine to be simple and be Shaggy at the same time and be in love. And I think that's my favorite scene. Get a close-up.
Get a close-up
A
of
man and his leading lady. And I don't know why it's so surprising. I mean, Shaggy was kind of good looking. Is this a Valentine's? No! To Shaggy? He's an icon. I mean, he's a pop icon. Every time you turn around, there are kids on the set, and you see them staring at you wide-eyed because you're Shaggy. You ask a random kid, I look like Tom Selleck. I look like, you know, Tom Cruise. I look like Shaggy. Come on, come here. Good, it's a quiet, sensitive moment. Quick, smile at the camera.
The only thing you'll be eating is a deeply fish sandwich.
Oh, well, I try and keep a light set as much as possible. I mean, they're all very funny people, so they respond in kind. Float, some of those words, toilet, you know, some of those, yeah.
He's always supportive. He's the first one to laugh behind the camera.
Oh, my God. Can we just go back for 1 second?
And oftentimes it's Matthew or Freddie. It's them keeping it light on the set.
You can't handle the truth. Look at Freddie Prinze talk to his fan. Not his fans, his fan.
No. Take a walk, Kelly. All right, first of all, whatever he says, you gotta have to understand something. Matt doesn't like me. He makes fun of me when I'm getting my wardrobe checked.
Welcome to Spooky Island and Fred's nasty pants. Freddie loves his fan. Not his fans, his fan.
Scooby-Doo! Where are you?
Well, I think for me the big breakthrough in finding out where I wanted to go with Scooby-Doo was making the choice to make the monsters real. And at that point, I thought back to the movie I loved the most as a kid, which was Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein. And the reason was because the movie was both very scary and very funny.
You know, Fred's whole theory is it's always a man in a mask, because if you watch Scooby-Doo, it's always a man in a mask.
Oh, man, Smithers!
This one looks a little different. Scary.
The challenge in the scenes with monsters was to get the actors to believe that they're actually being picked up by a 12-foot monster. So the way we did that, we had to physically pick them up, and we had to show them references of what they were looking at, give them eye lines, and basically put them in the scene, and they had to act as if this huge monster was picking them up.
It's definitely an intimidating day when you're in the CGI world and there's nothing anywhere to react to.
There's going to be near misses. There's going to be, you know, hits. There's going to be, you know, smashing into walls. I think that it wouldn't be Scooby-Doo without some physical comedy.
It was the second day. The second day, I think I got sprayed by a fire hose and hung upside down. It was good. I mean, nothing like getting you into it.
Linda Cardellini, ladies and gentlemen. In terms of the physicality of the actors, they're, you know, incredibly willing to go for it. I mean, Freddie just, you know, put himself in front of a swinging blade the other day. And Matthew was, you know, sort of a born physical comedian as far as I'm concerned.
Is Fred in a bad mood? He's not in a bad mood, Scoop.
One of the main things that Raja focused on doing was translating what was great about the cartoon into a film and what could have been even better about the cartoon but just wasn't allowed to be in it because it was a cartoon, to also translate that as well. And I think he succeeded 100%.
I think people are going to get a kick out of seeing their childhood up on the big screen, larger than life.
This goes out of its way to reward Scooby-Doo lovers and sort of entice new audiences.
We hope that we've done it in a way that it is kind of what you're expecting, but still with enough surprises in there.
Roll cameras.
It's humor, it's drama, you feel for these characters, there's action. It's a wonderful sort of melting pot of stories, and I think that's the greatest appeal. It's definitely what appealed to me.
With the technology to create Scooby realistically, the timing was right.
We all received the same letter from Emil Mondavarius, the spooky owner of Spooky Island.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is now further boarding call for those customers.
Fairly impressive yourself.
Okay, I'll give you what you guys do. Okay.
And background action. Action.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is now.
Hold it there. We'll try and pick it up.
For those customers, please proceed to gate 8.
Camera wrap on Mr. Matthew Lillard. Freddie Prinze Jr. For Linda Cardellini. Sarah Michelle Gellar. And that is a wrap on Scooby-Doo.